All right, folks, we're gonna go ahead and try to get started here. Um, just want to go a little review. Say, man, it's so Kevin Hayes, Richard. Yes. When I came up, when we say hay, we say horses is for what? For hay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I think we started off by dealing with like esteem building. How are you all with your esteem? How do you feel about yourself? I mean, because esteem is an estimation. Esteem, really, the word means an estimation, which means you estimating, you're counting a cause. But when it comes to self-esteem, how do you really, how do you feel about yourself? I mean, since the time I guess started these Mature Monday sessions, I mean, how do you feel about yourself? How's your self-esteem? I mean, do you feel good about yourself?
Oh, go ahead.
I'm
Is it open floor?
It's open. Yeah.
I go first. You want to go first? No. My self-esteem for myself is now that I'm looking and working on myself. I'm pretty proud of my self-esteem now because number one, I'm not in, I'm not thinking about doing bad. Mama just said, I'm not thinking about copying it today. I'm not thinking about using. My mind is on about getting structure,
Mm-hmm.
being a leader of my household.
Mm-hmm.
And today I'm worried about paying bills. You know, so my self-esteem, I'm gonna say is where it should be. I'm very happy and I'm proud about myself, my self-esteem about myself.
About yourself, you're proud of it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I mean,
Because my mind is focused. My mind is really focused. Yeah.
Give yourself a hand. Give yourself a hand. Yeah, give yourself a hand. Yeah.
So I'm really focused on that.
That's good. So you're focused on what again?
My bills.
Okay.
My recovery.
Uh-huh.
Well, first, can I put it in order like it's supposed to go? Like I wanted to go?
Go for it.
My recovery.
Mm-hmm.
My mind is clear.
Mm-hmm.
My household is okay.
Yeah.
And I still want my bills.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like a word called responsibility. It sounds like.
Okay. Yeah.
It sounds like a word called.
Well, my self-esteem is. I'm happy with myself. I mean, I never sat still. Not 50, 55. And I really never sit still or take time to myself and analyze me. Mm-hmm. I do that now every day. Mm-hmm. I got a book like you told me to get. Mm-hmm. Write some things down.
That's good.
Learning new words.
That's good. Yeah.
And so that's why I say I'm happy.
That's good. That's great. That's very commendable. That's great commendable.
And it took me a long time to realize what happiness means to me. Is being able to sit still and enjoy me. Because I can't make you happy or nobody else happy if I can't find me first. Now I'm finding me, and I know what my problems is, my issues. I just got to work on them.
That's good stuff.
And that's how I feel. But somebody else might have self-esteem is not low. I have high expectations of myself today. You know, very high. And I set my goals higher. You know, something that I accomplish. You know, and on that note, I'm gonna say that's where I'm at.
That's good. That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Anyone else? When it comes to self-esteem.
My self-esteem is very high. I'm in a good headspace. I know what I want and don't want. I had time to sit back and decipher who I need in my life. I don't engineering finance. You know, I know, like I said, I know what's good for me, what's not good for me. I'm at a place where I feel as I don't need no outside influences take care of my decisions. Like I don't need a Vivitrol shot or nothing like that. I know what I want just as much as it took the energy to go get it when I was using, or using energy not to use it. So,
I understand
but
that.
I'm comfortable in my skin with the time when I wouldn't be outspoken to say how I feel. I done got back into reading. You know, I use the term in my addiction before the devil came. So a lot of things I could have been doing before the devil came. Back to that place of who I should have been in the first place. So I'm really comfortable with my own skin. I made amends with my children. They accept things and, you know, they gave me affirmations of who I thought I was and not really who I was. Like I wasn't this kind of father. They're like, you was asking the father. You just had your quirks. It didn't really affect us. You know, I never beat on them or stole from them or anything. I was constantly there to your father, so they made the affirmation like, you know, I'm glad that you're fixing yourself. We had time as long as I had time on this planet. We had time together. But, you know, I'm in a pretty good place. I know my responsibilities is, you know, I can practice contemplation. You know, I know what I want to do and put my plans to action. I'm good with my money. I know what I want and don't need. You know, so I'm in a pretty good place. Everything is, you know, anything that I want to fix about myself physically, I can.
No, that's right.
So I don't have no reason to be like, I don't like this about myself. I don't need none of that crazy stuff like I gotta fix this and go get surgery or something. Come on, my skin. Anything that I can fix, like dental work, I'm gonna investigate that. But it's not up and then preoccupies my mind when I look in the mirror, be like, oh, I be because of this. I can fix it anytime I feel like. That's basically what I'm at.
Can I piggyback off of something he said?
First of all, let me say something with it, but I said you was dealing with like, you know, like responsibility.
Correct.
You know, we all need to be responsible, but you sound like that you are developing a synergy of energy. That means that you are not wasting your energy unnecessarily. So that means that when your energy is synergized, that means there is a constant continuity. There's a constant flow.
That's why I tend to like to be by myself. I could think better on my own. You know, I said before, I'm kind of empathic. I can't do the negative energy. It makes me feel get ill to eat around people like that. I don't really like being around a whole bunch of crowds and nothing like that. And I like to
Can we go get another board?
No.
I like to be a help of people because I don't like to see other people talk down on themselves even if they have potential. If you really see potential, then I can't waste my energy on you. But if I see potential and you really trying and you down talk yourself, I don't have no problem with like, you know, that's not truth, even if it is the truth.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother. You wanted to add something?
Yeah. One thing that I want to ask you. You said you don't want no help from the outside, right?
No, I mean, like, I don't need a shot to tell me I don't want to drink.
Oh, okay, all right. You don't need another drug or medication to tell you that you. Okay, I understand. All right.
To make me sick to know that I shouldn't drink.
Okay, all right. That's all. Got you. I understand. That's all I was.
I'm always going to need help.
Right.
I'm going to go through your life and never need help.
Right.
I mean, I don't have a shot or like you said,
I understand.
drug.
I got you.
I'm good. I know what I'm doing.
Right. Okay. Got you.
Anyone else? Where they are in their self-esteem?
Yeah, I do. When I was doing all that drinking and everything, I thought I knew who I was. But now, since I don't drink, I know myself a lot better than I was. Because, you know, I thought I knew everything and you know, what the problem was when I was drinking. No, I didn't.
Liquid courage.
You should ask me.
Liquid courage. Yeah.
And now since, you know, 2 years clean and sober, I know who I am now without taking that last drop.
All right. You got 2 years clean?
Yeah.
I know that's
You
right.
looking good too, man. Got you. Yeah, that's good stuff. Thanks. Thank you. Anyone else?
I know you good, man. You good, bro. I know you in a good place.
How you feel about yourself, Cad? No, I ain't
No,
not
you
shot.
good.
Anyway, how you feel? Explain I to me.
I'm not in a good place right
Okay, you're not in a good place right now. You want to speak on it, share on it, get it up, free yourself, man.
No.
You can say no all you want, but I'm gonna have you free yourself at a point in time today. You hear me?
I hear you.
Even if it's just me and you talking, you might not want to talk now, but I'm gonna hear it.
Nah, I'm gonna.
What about you? What about you, brother?
It look like peanut butter and jelly.
Repeat the question.
Where are you with your self-esteem?
That's easy.
Mhm.
See me talking or moving, that's self-esteem to me. I hold no, I don't feel any guilt or shame.
All right.
And that used to be like a constant thing. Used to be. No, none of it's just all bullshit under the bridge.
All right, we're getting somewhere now. We're gonna try to. Reason why I'm writing these single words down. He said no shame. Okay. Because these are things that I'm seeing that you all can focus on and build on, because they stick out in the manner and way in which you have expressed yourself. Because if anything, what's most important is we learn how to represent ourselves.
Yes, sir.
If you look at a tree, because perception is not reality, but it's on its way to reality. Let me explain that. If you look at a tree, a year later you come back, it may not be there no more. It may be leaves, logs, or a log. Why? Because we're talking about stages of change. Time changes what? Everything. So it was a mirage from the jump street. Can that make sense to you?
Yes.
And what I'm trying to get you to see is that what we have been challenged is we have been programmed that somebody will think for us rather than we think for our what? Ourselves. Any business person, when they see a tree, they don't just see a tree. They convert that tree into logs, and logs into wood, they log into what? Paper. Now, people think that money is made up of paper. 75% of the money is made up of cotton. Now, 75%.
Or trees.
Man, it's cotton. 25% could be paper, but 75% is cotton. You can look it up for yourself. You'll see.
Yeah.
Now,
It is.
now,
It is.
when you think about it now, oh yeah.
You're right.
When you think about it now, there was a brother who named Eli Whitney. You ever heard of him? He created what's called the cotton gin. but what I'm trying to say is, it reduced, the hand, picking cotton and produce it with a machine.
Right.
But what I'm trying to say is that somebody is thinking ahead.
Right.
Where's that you get paid differential money when you just see a tree, but when you can see that tree and look at it as wood and the wood and the log and you produce money, you get paid different for that. Huh? Because that means that it's like, okay, let's look at what we call drugs, right? Now, we know that if we become addicted to something, or become addicted to a drug, that means we're allowing that drug to think for us. It's controlling us. It's programming us.
Man.
Yeah, but when we take control of our own thinking, then we can take control of our own actions, our own behavior. So all I'm trying to do is get you to think. Okay, now, we still talk about character. I'm talking about character resolve and stages of change now. Now, when you think of a donkey, what do you think of?
Jackass, horse.
Stubbornness.
Stubbornness, huh? What do you think?
An ass.
Okay, good point. Good point.
I think of when I think of a donkey, I think of something that's gonna pull the plow or something like that, because that's what they mainly use the donkeys for.
Yeah.
Worker.
Right.
Yeah, work.
Right.
Yeah.
What you think of a donkey? All I'm trying to do is get you to think. That's all. That's all I'm trying to get you to think. That's all. Now, we know that, the donkey is somewhat of a mix with another animal, some I don't know which two it is. It's like a hybrid. It's in the middle. Now, you say a donkey is stubborn, right? Someone that is stubborn don't want to what? Listen or move, right? Listen, move and listen, right? Look now. So we want you to build on how you see a thing. Because how you see a thing is how you define a thing.
Correct.
Like Noah and Daniel Webster, they came up with definitions. You know what I'm saying? They put words together and they come up with terms. Now they got terms called Excel, or they create anything at Xbox, they create something, and then they give a definition to it. Because he or she has the power to define, is able to dictate how problems are defined, determine how they should be solved.
Now, I got a question about that.
Yeah.
You said Webster made up the word, so that's not really reality. It's something somebody made up.
No, you want it. You want it.
Following what somebody else said.
Somebody else say, that's all.
It's like colors. Somebody said it's blue, so it's blue. So
That's all.
Somebody said.
That's all.
But
So,
in reality, if I wanted to be another color, I could make it my reality. Just another color.
make it what you want, brother. Make it what you. Because why? You are the producer of who? Yourself. Huh? You are the producer of yourself. When you allow someone else to produce you, or you're under the influence to allow that which has influenced you to produce you and guide you like sheep and herdle to a certain way or a certain program, then therefore that's what you're going to do. You're programmed to do so. So you can't think outside of that. Now, if someone is riding a donkey, he called it an ass, right? And you can say somebody's acting like a what? An ass, he said. Huh? Somebody acting like an ass. But huh?
Jackass.
A jackass, yeah. No, jackass, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Then we can get into what you do with a jack. You lift it up. That's what you would think. Just make connections. That's all I'm trying to get you to do. Make connections, and then you'll be able to apply it to your life. They got something called jack in the what? Beanstalk.
Jack in the box.
Oh, jack in the what? In the box. Jack. Jack, it comes from associated with the word Jacob. Jacob is a derivative, you know what we're calling it in the Bible. These are all terms that someone come up with, and they use it and apply it to as they understand what their reality is or what they want their reality to be. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
So, when you're dealing with what we call a donkey, a jackass, someone that's stubborn, you know what I'm saying? Something that could be stubborn, something that you can work until it what? Dies. You know what I'm saying? So, if someone is riding a donkey really represents ignorance. Somebody is riding and depending on keeping you what? Ignorant. That's how they ride you. Listen, you ever seen a, you don't think drugs ride you and keep you ignorant?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You don't think the so-called dealer, you don't think that he's using that drug to keep you what? Ignorant? Huh? He or she who has those things, who sell those things, is keeping you what? Ignorant. So you have to get that stop allowing something to ride you. I don't care where you are in your life or what you're going through in your life, don't let that shit ride you. Because when you something is riding you and keep you ignorant, and ignorance is a result of hostility.
Correct.
Because it makes you hostile. As if there's nothing else to be learned. That means you don't want to learn nothing.
So they keep you ignorant,
Yeah.
which we are not.
No question, as a human being, you use the word the devil, something, whatever he does, it affects everybody, whatever he does. You know what I'm saying? Creates mischief, creates chaos, he creates confusion.
Disorientation.
He
Take you off your path.
take you off your path, man. Use emotionally charged words. So it can give a litmus test to see where you are and how you're going to respond and how you're going to react.
That's like they say, it's not what people call you, it's what you respond to.
So that's right, because we talk about this here, still, we talk about character resolve and stages of change. So, the reason why I asked y'all those questions earlier about where you are in your self-esteem, because we want to get to the point to see where you are in your stage. Now, we know it says all worlds, somebody said Shakespeare said all worlds are stage, we're merely actors in a play. Right? Now, we look at an act. Act 1, Act 2, Then we got actors. Then you got people who are playing roles. You know what I'm saying? So, what is the role that we all must play and to build on our humanity is to have this here. Character resolve. Character. Your word should be your what? Your bond. Huh?
So that's all some of us have. It's just
You
our
have to be
word.
impeccable to your word. Always keep your word.
And we also are all worthy of honor and respect. We all are. There is no need. Dr. asked Dr. King a question about the beggar. He said something about, he said, should we eradicate the beggar? He said, no, we should eradicate the system that produces the beggar. He took it off the individual. Because something created it. If someone knows terms, knows law and all these terms, knows these words, but yet they're using these words to further keep you what? Ignorant? To keep you at odds with one another?
Ignorant and down.
Go ahead.
Keep us ignorant and down.
Yeah, no question, man. And all you're trying to do is come up out of it, man.
Fighting hard.
Everybody's trying to fight to come up out of it. That's why you don't want to be around certain people who are going to keep trying to pull you up, pull you down. That's why you're saying you want to be what? Responsible. That's why Brother Richard said, for me, the term, that's why he said now he can identify with some things now. Because he identified with himself. He identified what's going on. He identified what was happening. Huh? These are stages of change. You came to that. Even the good brother there, he says, well, I'm all right. He says, I'm all right. That means he's still trying. He just saying he's all right. He's trying. Then the brother back there says that, man, he has no shame because what happened is people start to play on your sympathy as well.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Huh?
They do.
Boom.
Yeah. That's what happened, man. So he said, I got no shame because they play on him. They play on his sympathy. Then you go and you assist them and do this and you help them in a manner in a way. And then when you don't do it, then they make you feel guilty.
And then after you do it, it's going to leave you anymore.
Can I give a perfect example?
Go
Because
for
I
it.
do have one that sometimes bothers me.
Yeah.
I don't do things to get stuff back in return.
Yeah.
See, like, my wife might bring me some snacks or something.
Mm-hmm.
If I see certain people don't have, I'll make a bag and just say, here you go.
Yeah.
And I don't be looking for nothing in return, but say, like, if I don't have, and you see me walking around and don't have, and you have, why not offer? Boy, you alright? Do you need one of these or something? Is that making me feel like I'm asking because I feel that way?
Say it again.
Okay, alright. See, like, I get a lot of stuff at the house. You know, I'm a little privileged. I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone else.
Yeah, this cool.
Okay, all right, I'm just going with it. And I make bags and just pass it around in the house, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And say, like, you see me and I don't have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about far as, like, maybe anything. So am I wrong for thinking maybe you should offer if you heard me say I don't have?
So you saying
When we start over,
you're saying that you should feel guilty if you don't have?
should I feel guilty because I feel like that person or anyone see me without should offer?
Yeah, ask me because
I just read an information the other day. It says, never look at another person and expect yourself.
Oh, thank you. That's something that all
say it again.
Never look at another person and expect yourself.
Oh, expect yourself. Okay.
Right. You know what? That's so true because everybody don't got a kind heart as I got.
I got you now, I got.
So I need to just numb my kind heart and make it hard.
Just continue.
No, don't make it hard. Don't make it hard.
Right.
Don't make it hard, but you should continue being yourself. The universe.
In spite of.
The universe works that way. Everybody gets paid.
Well, I got it too. I got some good stuff. See how y'all resolve that? Because there's some means to an end. People we use that a lot. No, an end within itself that means you take joy in what you do. You ain't
Yes,
looking
I
for
do.
you
I
ain't
do.
really looking for nothing in return. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Take
The
joy.
saying goes, never let your right hand see what your left hand is.
Got you. Man, I know. I got you. I understand.
You see how he's able to put that together and by you was able to articulate? Because all that does is that you all are thinking. That's all we want to do is try to really, man, My mission is to promote the value of self-worth. That's all.
Right.
And the mandate is to cultivate the potential of knowledge that is in us all. That's all. That's all I'm trying to do. And I try to communicate through 5.5 channels: understanding, tolerance, temperance, confidence, and respect.
Okay.
Yes, that's all. So, but it's required upon you all, as I'm trying to get you all to think, because this what happened is that people have been, the society in which we live has been programming us, and they want you to think the way that they want you to think.
Right.
You gotta respect people's nature. So that's like you said, if you gave me something, it could have been a whole month ago. But if I go to the store, this is my nature. And I'm thinking like, even if you have it, I might think like, I'm gonna get a pack of cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes.
Now,
One thing that you did for me then,
But I do it every time she comes, twice a week.
now, I want to make clear on something here. When I use the word they, people have concern about they. Who is
Then
they?
you get something from somebody in the house, they want it back the next day or when you can get to it or whatever. They don't think about they ain't gonna have it, I'ma have it.
That's-
See, I don't do it to get it back, but I'm just saying courtesy.
But you can add on to this. I don't believe it's a characteristic of a man. You should call another man out in front of other men. If you gave me something, I should never ask you in front of them. Like, oh, where my $3 I gave you?
Right.
Never do that.
That was between me and you.
That's serious stuff.
Yeah, you should never do that in front of them.
Right.
That's serious stuff.
If that don't cause chaos, it will.
That's why I don't want money.
Now, no, watch this here now. Because we always say, we get in the, because remember, now we get in this, we continue to get in states of change. Because you said that no one should, put another man, like if I gave you something.
You from the street, you know we got God
Yeah,
code.
yeah.
Things you don't do.
Now watch this here now. Now, when I say they, right? Because remember, all relationships are individual. You know what I'm saying? You have an individual relationship with someone, and you can tell that individual is trying to, program you, or they have been programmed, and they want to pull you down into to that program as well, if that makes sense to you. If another individual has been programmed by another individual, then that individual try to pull you into their program, so therefore they program you. So that's what I'm saying when I mean they, and that's based upon an individual relationship that you have established with someone. And you see that particular individual is trying to program you and to pull you down. Now, what also programs you is what they call drug usage. That programs you. Because one thing leads to another. And they call it triggers. Your attitude can trigger you. Someone may be married, their wife can say something that trigger you. Someone have an ex-wife and she can say something that trigger you. You may have a good friend, he may say something to trigger you. You know what I'm saying? You could sit down at the table and somebody may sneeze or do something that can trigger you. Any little thing triggers us, man. And when something triggers us, all we do is, you can tell if we change or not, if we revert back to our old habits. You can tell if you change, whatever.
You know, a lot of the time about that is that somebody do something to cause you triggers, they hit you with untruth. They tell you things that's not true about yourself. Saying you're married, somebody be like, okay, well, I'm with this person because you wasn't this and you wasn't that.
But watch this though. But watch this here though. Watch this here. We look in the word, man. We look in the word. They say that somebody came at what they call it in the Bible. We call it came at them 3 ways. He went to the mountain. He says, "You do what I tell you to do. You can have all this, and you need food or something." He says, but come through you psychologically, physically, and through some form of power. Now, we're talking about temptation, right? Because remember, he said somebody could do something.
I mean, like, you value your self-worth by comparing you to another person.
Well,
it's not that's not even true.
Well, but
this trying to hurt you to untruths.
But I got you there. But I'm trying to tell you, all they're doing is here. They tempting you. They tempting you to get out of character.
Right, to be something you never want to be.
That you don't listen. That you don't want to do. And then you wind up doing it anyway because they triggered you.
And they still not satisfied.
And that's a tricky son of a gun.
Yes, it is.
And that's somebody who's under the program system.
With the same thing is you can't make nobody else happy. People change every day.
Everything changes, man. Nothing stays the same. So, we're going to look at these words. We say responsibility. This brother talking about being more responsible, responding to his or her ability. The brother was talking about, is not using unnecessary energy. The brother here was talking about he identified with some things. The good brother there was talking about, well, I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm all right. And we want to make sure that we can help him that he gets past better than just all right. You know what I'm saying? And then, brother back there talking about no shame, which means, we tired of people like, you ain't going to play on my sympathy no more. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to take me there where you are when I ain't even trying to go there. You know what I'm saying? So, let's build on this as we can. I'm going to use this in a manner of way how the line is set up. And you see how the line is set up in connection, like recovery, connected to pre-contemplation. Contemplation is connected to relapse. Preparation is connected to maintenance. Then the action. The reason why the action is there, because the action is the centering. Huh? That's the center. Because it's all the center is the action that you take. Now, we're going to look at these words and try to break them down and to see how they can play in our lives or your lives when it comes to change. First of all, we have to realize that change is a product of human effort. I repeat, change is a product of human effort. And the effort that you make, you must first see yourself as being useful. Seeing yourself of value. You have to value yourself. That's key. You have to value yourself because you have to see yourself as value yourself, or see yourself as value so that you know that you can become this here productive. Everybody wants to be productive. You don't want to live a life being unproductive. You go to school, you go to work, whatever you do, you want to live a life. But when you become to a point in your life when you feel as though that you're unproductive, then you feel unuseful or useless. You feel devalued, man. You don't feel good about yourself. So, we must change that by you putting forth an effort of feeling good about your what? Yourself.
Man, I understand where you started going at this morning. Keep on, brother.
You must. Because if not, we're going to continue to repeat the same thing over and over and over again. And for the most part, in the culture in which we live, it seems as though that people some people may take pride of seeing you down.
I heard that before. Instead of lifting you up, they want to pull you down.
Some people take pleasure in seeing you down. So if they take pleasure in that, that makes them to be what is called a sadist in the psychological field. Not that I'm a psychologist, but that means someone loves to take pleasure in inflicting pain and pain on it. They take pleasure in that.
Mean you no good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mean you no good.
The sadist, you call it a sadist, I call it a sadist. But yeah, they take pleasure in that. So the challenge is, why would you help them with that?
But there's some people that like that. They sick in their
Huh?
head.
So now we're getting into good. Now we're getting to the point of the what? The sting of the sickness, man. The sickness is like a stronghold, and it has it's like a hold on you. Smokey Robinson really say he really got a hold on you. So, but it really has a stronghold. The Bible calls it strong. That means it is holding you back. But yet at the same time, you have the power. If something is riding your back, all you have to do is lift up your what? Just stand up. And what more likely it's going to do what? It's going to fall off. Nothing can ride your back unless it's bent. So you have to straighten your what? Your back up. Get it off of you.
You gotta know when to stand up.
Now, we know that for the most part, when many of us are using something, it's like something that's just riding us, man. It's riding us. And when something is riding you, we get back to that donkey again. It's riding to you. It's going to ride you, man, until it kills you, man.
You can't have that.
And that's what you don't want.
Right.
Let me tell you why you don't want it. It's evidence that you don't want that, but that's why you're here.
Yes, sir.
Because you don't want it. You're tired of something riding you. Because the burden has becoming so heavy that it's making you irresponsible. It's draining the energy out of you. You're losing your identity. Huh? It makes you feel, feel guilty or shame. Huh? It's just playing what? It's playing tricks on you all the way across the board.
Mm-hmm.
In fact about it, it's taking up, I almost for lack of a word, I'm not trying to be religious. It's like it's taking your birthright from you.
Mm. Well, I mean, it's taking everything.
Huh?
The thing that you're entitled to.
Yeah.
Think about it. He said birthright from it. Man, that's crazy, but it's right.
And when that takes place, man, it also leads to what is called abbreviated life expectancy. That means you die prematurely, man.
Yep, just like
So
some coaches
that goes underneath action, right?
Which one? Y'all, you can fill in the blanks. So which one going to that?
I think that should go underneath
What going to action?
What we were just talking about birthright.
Taking your birthright.
That's underneath action because that's your decision. Okay, you got to. That should be your decision if you got. Because when we born, all right, we don't know which way we going. Our parents should be leading us, so that's action, okay? And as we grow, if no one is teaching us, we learning things our own way. So we want to figure out things. I'm gonna try this, but then you get addicted. You understand? You follow me? So as he's saying, from birth. If we ain't taught, we gonna go our own way, and then our mind become what? Twisted up. So that's why I said that's all in action.
Now, because you're talking about this here, right? You need this here.
Sir.
You need that guidance.
What?
I was saying, like, you talking about your birthright. Some coaches, they just take that away from you. As soon as you're born, they tell you who you gotta marry.
Oh, they're like over in Africa.
No say so of your life at all.
Oh, in Africa, that's how it is. I heard.
I don't know how it is, but all I know is this
That's
here.
something I've read.
Yeah. All I know is this here, right? You know, we were born in a condition which we had no control of, placed in a situation, surrounded by circumstances, consequently, due to some previous activity that takes place. So when someone is taking that from you, and by nature, now let's look at nature. By nature, we live in a world of abundance. By nature, all this is accessible to us. So, but if someone is ahead of you, remember, if someone has some information that is right, the person that wants to do wrong, he or she looks at that information and uses that information against you. So that he is ahead of you, and what he or she is doing is reversing the process. He or she is reversing the process of you getting what you deserve as being a human being. And by him, he or she reversing the process, instead of treating you like a human being, he treats you inhumane, less than a human being. So we look at drugs and the uses of it, and even what we think sometimes, how stress and strain, how it reversed the process, and it make us start doing what? Aging quickly. You know when someone is on these drugs and using more than what they have to, you look at their body, you look at their face. They start reversing the what? The process. Quickly. So that's why you have to be careful what you think, what you say to yourself, and what you eat. Who you communicate with, the company of people who you be around. Because people will stress the hell out of you.
Keyword stress. Like we was talking about that earlier in there, remember y'all?
So you got to create an environment where you are right now, and even in your thinking, that you don't allow that the process start reversing, man. We know it's gonna happen. We know naturally we're gonna get old, right?
Right.
Why speed it up?
That's what you do.
Huh?
Cause we know no better.
Yeah. Can I go a little bit deeper into that?
Yeah.
When he's talking about about the Webster Dictionary, about how somebody made a word up and you follow it.
Yeah.
You sit back and imagine the earth itself.
Mm.
The earth doesn't belong to nobody.
No question.
The earth belongs to itself, to somewhere along
No
the
question.
line. All the natural resources, somebody came along and said, this is water. You have to pay for it.
No question. It's a utility. It's a utility. It's free.
It's everywhere. It's free. Yeah. Somebody came along and made you.
You got light from the sun,
Hey,
everything.
just like the channel 2. Remember we channels we had channel 2, 13, no 11, 13, 45, and 20. Now it's
But look at this here though. Watch this here. They got this here. NWS.
news.
What that mean?
Northeast, west, and south.
There you go. Yep.
Say that again, cause I didn't get it.
Northeast, west, and south.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That's what it
is.
That's
Okay.
something right there. But that might too.
Yeah. That's what it is. They spreading
That's
that.
what it's spelled, news.
They spreading that. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful what we spread, man. And we also want to be in a better position where it's that we can excel. We can be progressive rather than regression when it talks about stages of change. Now, it says here in this book, talk about one's experience with change. Think about a change that you made in your life. Then, as you think about a change, we'll talk about it. But yet, it says that, if y'all don't have no paper, but you can write or give support of what helped make you change. Give support or write down what helped made you change. And when you realize what helped made you change, then you can start building on it.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it though, man. Think about the change that you made in your life and what helped made you change and what, support that you had to help you further make that change, if I may use that. And once you start writing it down, then you can build on it. Because it's your experience, man. This is your experience. This is my experience. We all have our own individual what? Experience, man. What supports that help, you make that change? And what were the obstacles and what were the barriers that made it difficult?
Mm-hmm. You know that's right. Because I like how you break that down towards that.
Think about a change that you made in your life. And then think about the support that helped you make the change. What were the obstacles that made the change more difficult? You got it?
Mm-hmm.
You said what made me want to change? What else?
Yeah, and what support you got that helped you make the change?
Well, I can answer that.
And what was the obstacles and the barriers that made the change more difficult? It could be your attitude, it could be your thoughts. It could be environmental. It could be environmental factors.
What made it difficult for me to make the change difficult was that I had transportation and I had a few dollars, and that's what made it hard for me to change, for my change.
So the money with is that a part with the money, the material that you had?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the misuse of it.
Yes. That's why I said I needed structure. And sit and learning the things about myself. I'm really learning, man.
That's good stuff. Because once you get that, I think you can build on it. Now, let's try to look at that word, and then once you write that down, next time I see you, brother, we can talk about it. You hear me, brother Sean?
I get it, brother.
Yeah. Then we can talk about it.
Yeah, that'll be a good discussion. Sean,
Uh,
you get that from me.
let's look at the word. Let's look at the word pre-contemplation. Okay. Person shows no intent to change a problem behavior. A person shows no intent to change a problem behavior.
Excuse me, what's up? I ran out of paper. I got too deep to sleep.
You can afford it too.
All right. Number 2, person may be unaware behavior is a problem. How can a person be unaware that a behavior is a problem? Huh?
It happens.
Is it?
Yeah.
Tell me about it, man. That's a good one. Tell me, brother.
I
Yeah.
mean, when it may make sense to me, but it's not going to make any sense to you. And I'm not going to change my mind on what I think about that certain subject, whatever we're talking about.
Yes, sir.
But I'm saying in general, of course I know what they're saying about it.
Yes, sir. That's
It's-
good.
It's more than one way to look at it, you know?
Yeah.
Especially to the person who asked you. Not to be vague or ignorant with them, just to show
Yeah.
you how, this is what it means to me.
Yeah. No question. I got
When
you.
I talk, I used to, when all this started 4 years ago, you can't speak in public. I said, the hell if I can't.
Mm.
Like in these, they were bigger than this, the meetings. If so, everybody got 5 minutes to say it quick and move on. Because there's so many people in the room.
Mm.
This is in Hagerstown.
Mm-hmm.
And, believe it or not, I learned a lot from that place. Everybody says it's junk and whorehouse and drugs. And, well, all that's starting to stop just because he decided to stop drinking.
Mm.
Or taking drugs, I mean, the world continues, it moves on.
Yes, sir.
I'm not saying it moves on in my world, happy to say,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just finding what's going on.
Wow.
Definitely, I can make sense out of it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
The very top, excuse me, sorry. Is that a stage of change?
Yeah,
Stages of change.
Stages of change. Yeah.
On that first.
Yeah. So Manny, the good brother Manny was talking about, a person may be unaware of their behavior is a problem. Yeah. Unaware of it.
I would say you don't recognize your behavior as a problem because sometimes you need somebody to let you tell you, let you recognize the problem. In my addiction, I never knew nothing was wrong. Nobody ever told me nothing was wrong. I thought I was doing everything right. But sometimes you need somebody like, look, this is not working, or you go end up hurting yourself. Sometimes you don't see, you so blinded by your addiction and your self gratification, you don't see what you're doing. You think, like I said before, I did everything. I paid my bills on time. I thought I was entitled to drink all the time. After I finished doing what I wanted to do, but nobody ever said like, just you know what you're supposed to do. There's no reward for doing what you're supposed to do. Just like when a child do something good in school, you reward them for doing something that they're supposed to do. It's nice to treat your children nice, but if they don't do something good, you don't reward them. As soon as they do something good, you reward them, and then when they do something good, they always expect you to reward them for something that they're supposed to do in the first place. Which is false gratification, not false gratification, but you're looking for something that you're not always going to get. So if you don't get that, that means you'll go back to doing something bad because you're not getting a reward for it.
Now I got you because there's a saying that man, aren't you your brother's keeper? Nobody should have to ask you that. Automatically, you are your brother's keeper. I mean, with something that you do is something natural. You know what I'm saying? It's something natural.
That's like the comedian Chris Rock was like, people would be like, man, I take care of my kids. Like, ain't you supposed to?
Yeah,
You want
yeah,
credit for taking care of your kids? That's what you're supposed to do.
No question.
But people want, validation for doing something you naturally supposed to be. They naturally
Have you ever noticed that someone will commend you and give you credit and validate you and even feed you, and the reason why they're doing that is to kill you?
Yeah.
That is a hell of a thing, ain't it, man? They do everything good to compliment you, and all they doing is trying to set you up.
Let help you put your guards down.
So,
if you
is it, can you all put your guards down around each other?
around certain people,
You can't even do that here.
there's certain
If you
people I
do, you
trust
got
you in
certain
a
people
sense.
gotta show their power that they got a little bit more than you or smarter
You
than
talking
you.
about around our community?
Yeah,
No, you talking
yeah,
about
you know what I'm
us.
talking about.
You talking about us in the community?
Yeah, some of them. I mean, with him, yeah,
We
I
got-
can't. I say I can.
I could say like anything else in the world, it's easier to trust somebody who don't want nothing from you.
We even try to talk down to you, certain people.
How do you handle that
When a
though?
person envy you, don't tell them nothing about you. Some things
I
you're
look
not
at it and
supposed to
don't
tell
pay you no
you're not
attention.
supposed to tell anybody everything about yourself in the first place. But it's dangerous to tell everything to a person who's always asking how you do something instead of having their own mindset. You know, you can give them ways to do something, but you can't do everything the way that I do it. So if somebody envy you, like, I want to live just like you live, and you gotta be careful with people like that. Because they would, you know, like you said, they will set you up, they end up wanting what you had.
Instead of
your
just
brothers-
asking you how
even
you
your
got it.
brothers, yeah, even your brothers kill you for what you had.
There ain't no brother in it.
Mm.
There ain't no brother at all. I think we have to distinguish that, but I got you coming up. We gotta stay, there ain't no family there. No family do none of that.
Well, just, yeah, like they say, just because they're blood don't make them your family.
Now, but I got you though. I got you. I just wanted to be clear that we got to distinguish, you know, family and brother and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I got you. I got you. Yeah, I got you.
Biologically on paper.
I got you. Yeah, I got you.
That's the,
I got you. Because I think we need to get to a point like even the brother back there was talking about when he said he learned a lot. Because
yes, I did.
because man, you say you distinguish yourself, you set yourself apart. You said that, man, whatever it is that somebody else say, I wasn't into none of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what
I
you're
didn't pay that no mind. I mean, I heard it, and I wasn't entertained by it. I was there to get something out of it, and you did. Right or wrong?
No, that's right.
That means you applied yourself. That's all you got to do, man. It's not going to happen by what they call osmosis. You have to apply yourself, man. Anytime you want to change, you got to apply yourself. The first law of the universe is what? Motion. Nothing happens till you put it in what? In motion. You got to make the effort, man. You got to make the attempt. Did you want to say something? So he was talking about, then it goes on, unwilling to do anything about it. When he's unaware of a problem, unwilling to do anything about it. Because no one will change if they don't see an issue with their action. Then we talk about contemplation. It says that person may lack confidence to change behavior due to previous failed attempts. Ain't that something? Says you lack confidence. Marcus Garvey said he or she who has no confidence is twice defeated. He says to change your behavior due to previous what? Failed attempts. Because you failed once, you failed twice, you failed 3 times. So what? Right? I'm just using so what? You get back up and try what? Again. That's why you all are here. You may fail one time, you may fail twice, but you still try. You ain't allowing your failures to make you to become less confident in your ability to change. Does that make sense?
Make a lot to me, dude.
Because I think Dennis Kimbrough, God said failure is nothing but your down payment for success.
Say that again.
Said failure is nothing but your
Failure.
nothing but your down payment for success.
Like, damn.
Bring your resume with you.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to play around like that. I said, you know what?
Payment.
I'm gonna bounce this off of you. Cause I'm gonna need to turn this into my resume.
Yes,
My resume is so many years cooking, so many years as a car salesman,
yes, sir.
cowboying,
Yes, sir.
because I'm from Texas,
Yes, sir.
state of Kentucky, and yeah, I give my 2 thumbs up first to myself.
Yes, sir. That's all you want it, because all this that you're going to, this is your experience, this is your portfolio. Man said, this is your resume. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna give somebody when they send me those pearly gates.
Yeah.
Well, how much did you send and what did you do? And are you sorry for it? And I put it all right here on paper in front of you.
Yeah.
Guardian angel number 1 that hates me.
Yeah.
Okay, garbage number 2 that loves me.
Yes, sir.
And here's my donation.
Hey, man, but listen though. Hey, listen.
You're dropping applications to get into heaven. I said, who the hell ain't?
Man, you're doing the best that you can with what you have. Now, all you're doing is trying to add on to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All you're trying to do is add on to it. You're doing the best what you can with what you had. Now you're trying to just add on to it. You don't need to have thoughts or be around someone who's trying to take what you're adding to. That math don't add up. That's the subtraction. You want to add, multiply, add. And I mean multiple, I mean you want to continue to be productive, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's all, man. Continue to be productive. Pre-contemplation again, it says here. Person tends to view target behavior as being more positive than negative. Ain't that something? A person tends to view target behavior as being positive than negative.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm sorry, I'm kind of slow.
Yeah.
A person.
Yeah. Tends to view target behavior as being positive than negative. Because this comes into decision making process. Because you can view something, if a person, as we said earlier, is unaware that his behavior is a problem, he can see it as something being positive.
Yeah.
This is decision making process. This is when you make decisions. And then finally,
this under decision. I
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
I'll do that for myself later.
yeah. And then another one, person believes,
Number 6.
yeah,
Listen,
person believes behavior
a
to
person.
be under control or at least manageable. He believes that.
That's what I was.
Yep.
A person believes
Behavior to be under control or at least manageable. Man, that's a hurt. That hurts me.
I did that because I worked
That's
the
enough
same
for that, man.
job.
Yeah.
I worked the same job for 20 years. I went to work drunk almost every day. Got
you
my
said
job.
manageable.
And
Yep.
that's why people say there's no such thing as a fat functioning alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
I challenge it sometimes because I did it.
Yeah, man.
For 20 years I was working buzzed up and my boss never said anything or I never exhibited stumbling or none of that
Yeah.
stuff. In my mind now, I was
I got
buzzed but I was still focused.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I thought it was okay, but eventually your body gets it. You can't do that.
You can't do it. You can't do it.
Physically, you can't do it for the rest of your life.
Nope. Nope. And that's being delusional, man.
Right.
That's being delusional.
Everybody say that when you're young, you can't run the whole way. You can't do it. Your body will eventually slow down and shut down and start rejecting the things you put in it.
Put this in the notebook.
That's good, man. Y'all, that's good stuff, man. I'm glad to see y'all taking
You said
some
we're
notes.
gonna run through this
We
next week, right?
Yeah, we are. That's what's up. So, what we're gonna do is then I'm gonna give a root word the origin of the word pre-contemplation. But we're gonna take that 10-minute break and come back at 1:40.
Okay.
Yeah. What time is it?
It's 1:30.
Yeah, 1:40.
So that's 10 minutes, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, this is my work right here, but if you need it's
Good. I'm good.
12:31 if you
Yeah.
had to Google something.